Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Roland Chan, and I'm the founder and CEO of FindBob. And FindBob is an enterprise platform that helps insurance and financial institutions protect the value of their most precious asset, their book of business. Prior to founding FindBob, I was a successor to a 25-year-old insurance and investment practice in Toronto. We have over 150 active advisors and agents, manage close to $100 million in assets and $30 million in in-force premium. I've personally served on a number of local as well as national industry boards, so it's safe to say that I, much like many of you, believe in the power of insurance and financial advice. About 9 years ago, a good friend and advisor of ours unexpectedly passed away. For the 15 years that we knew John, he had provided quality insurance and financial advice to families and small businesses all across the city. But John was like the dentist with bad teeth. When he died, he didn't have a continuity or succession plan to protect the value of his most precious asset, his book of business. It took me over a year to have any of that value transferred over to his wife Stephanie and the girls, and by the time that happened, close to 50% of the asset had eroded, either because clients discovered that John didn't have a plan, or because many agents and advisors, several of whom attended his own funeral, poached those clients from beneath him. Not only did my firm and the carrier lose assets to attrition, not only did John erode the value of his life's work, not only did he leave his family in the lurch, but John clearly ignored his fiduciary obligation to his client. You see, when our insurance and financial advisors go out into the community and serve clients, they do so for the duration of their lifetime, and not for the duration of the practitioner nor the firm. This wasn't just John's fault. As his firm, I too have a duty of care. And so I founded FindBob to address a massive industry problem. Did you know that the average age of the independent agent and advisor is 59? Over 80% of those practitioners don't have a written actionable transition plan. According to a Limmer McKinsey study, close to 40% of life agents expect to exit the business in the next 10 years. According to the Big I, over 400,000 P&C agents expect to do the same. And on the retail wealth management side, there's $2.5 trillion in assets controlled by advisors in their 60s with no next generation talent to transition to. Ladies and gentlemen, our industries are headed towards the perfect storm. Consumers are discovering their agents and advisors have left them in the lurch and are taking their business, along with our enterprise assets, across the street to the banks. And this creates a huge friction problem between distribution and their firms. On the one hand, agents and advisors clearly understand the importance of transition and succession, yet they find the process far too daunting, and there's no easy way to find an adequate partner. On the firm side, we clearly want to support these transitions, yet we lack effective and streamlined processes that can scale. According to a John Hancock study, 80% of agents and advisors feel that the industry is doing a poor job supporting their transition. Of those same respondents, 75% said that they would switch to a competing firm that did. FindBob solves for this problem. We've created a model where everyone wins. Agents and advisors discover opportunities within organization walls, and when they do, we help protect and grow your most precious asset, your book of business. Now, transition and succession are not new topics. I'd argue, however, that transition programs have failed. Transition programs within institutions have failed because they failed to recognize the needs of agents and advisors and the necessary activities required to trigger the types of behavior that we'd like to see. And so FindBob is more than just an electronic marketplace. We're a behavioral economics business. And what we specialize in is using machine learning, predictive analytics, and game mechanics to elicit the right types of behavior by agents and advisors that our customers, the insurance and financial institutions, want to see. And so here's an example of how that might work in one such organization. Bob's been a top producer for the last 20 years for IIF, Iowa Insurance and Financial Group. But now, he's thinking about winding down and divesting his business. So he logs on to the IIF perpetuation platform only offered to their top producers. And we start by collecting one single data point. And what's Bob interested in? Buying, selling, continuity, or succession? We combine that with data that we've already acquired on IAF's unique transition objectives. Then we can predict and suggest meaningful goals to help Bob achieve his outcomes, like how to apply for financing or how to establish a business continuity plan. Each goal has actionable and measurable tasks designed to help Bob make progress towards those goals. And armed with more knowledge about the things that are important to Bob, relationship managers back at the IAF head office can now reach out and have meaningful dialogue with him on the things that are important to himself. As we collect more data, we create a rich and beautiful profile that's accessible on the firm's private white-labeled marketplace. And his profile is discoverable via powerful search. You can look for a book of business as easily as you look for a house on MLS. And we provide sophisticated matchmaking. Not only do we match agents and advisors based on business traits, but we also match them on interpersonal and psychological traits as well. And when he's ready, he can reach out and connect with other agents and advisors using our safe and secure messaging platform. Not only do we provide relationship managers the tools to engage with their distribution, but for the first time, we give them the tools to underwrite the risk and assess the impact of loss within their organization. They can drill down by advisor interest, assess an individual practice's transition readiness, and even unobtrusively nominate transition partners within your own distribution. And we're already serving the transition needs of some of Canada's largest life insurance and mutual fund dealers, generating close to $200,000 in ARR. Thanks to the support of our GIA family, we're on pace to have $600,000 in ARR in the next 3 to 4 months. Not only do we have game-changing technology, but we're the only platform on the market that has figured out how to focus on internal transitions. Internal transitions, experts will agree, is the best outcome not only for industry, for firms and distribution, but ladies and gentlemen, above all else, for consumers. We're focused on the 10,000 medium to large life, health, P&C, and retail wealth management firms with over 4 million advisors across the country. 10,000 enterprise firms at approximately $150,000 per enterprise site license is a $1.5 billion revenue opportunity. Not to mention our direct-to-advisor and third-party lead generation revenue streams. As mentioned, I'm a successor to a 25-year-old practice, and I've assembled a fantastic team of technologists and financial professionals who are passionate about protecting the power of insurance and financial advice. And the world has taken notice. The International Association for Insurance Supervisors suggests that as a core value, continuity and succession should be adopted by manufacturers who engage in outsourcing retail distribution. But that's not it. In addition to our distribution getting older, consumers are getting older as well. So ask yourself this question: am I preparing my retail distribution to inherit the trillions in dollars in wealth transfer events looming from the baby boomers that are within my existing book of business? We've got the product, the team, and the timing to make a meaningful impact on a global industry problem. If you'd like to learn more about how we can help you protect the power of financial advice and protect your existing assets, come find Bob at the break. Thank you.